Hello, my name is Jeffrey Foreman. This is a screencast that's going to be produced in February 2021 as a requirements for the Computer and Education class for Franciscan University. My topic for you today is a little bit about the why behind education. Right? This is a philosophy sort of related topic, specifically relating to tradition and through education and religion. So, it's a little introduction of me thinking that I thought was really well done, articulated by a man who lived in Italy, and his work resonated with me. His name is Father Luigi Cassani. Now, Father Luigi Cassani was born in 1922, and he died in 2005. So it means he lived through both the World War II and the Cold War era. He was an educator and a public intellectual, as well as a theologian. And so that educator part is what I wanted to speak to, because that's what really spoke to me. So, a couple of quotes from Father Cassani is that religion is actually about relationship with a person, led by our deep desires. And so this leads to the next question is are we actualizing those desires? Are we okay with the answer we just gave? Right? And so here's some other amazing quotes for him, right? Is that existence expresses itself as an ultimate ideal in begging. The real protagonist of history is the beggar, Christ who begs for man's heart, and man's heart that begs for Christ. And that was before John Paul II in 1988. Another one, he's going to quote T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot asked himself, has the church failed mankind, or has mankind failed the church? Both, because the first and foremost, it is mankind who failed the church, because if I need something, I chase after it, if it goes away. No one chased after it. The church began to fail mankind, as I see it, as we see it, because she forgot who Christ was. She did not rely on, she was ashamed of Christ, of saying who Christ is. Third quote, promise you this is kind of the end of the quotes. Faith is not given to us that we preserve it, but in order for us to communicate it. If we don't have the passion to communicate it, then we don't preserve it. And this is a written contribution for the Pontifical Council of the Laity in 2004. So the book that I wanted to share with you, which is the work that Cassani really resonated with me, is the one that's called Risk of Education. It was written in 2001, but it was released in English in 2019. Okay? Here's the what. The basic purpose of educating young people is because society is rebuilt through them. Here's the why. Education is about reforming the attitudes that people have. So in essence, a good education means reforming the human heart to exist in relationship with all things and with God, the way that it was designed to be. Here's the how. Traditions, present experience, which proposes and provides criticism, and criticism is necessary for proper education. So let's say that again. Traditions, proper and present experience, which allows you to propose and provide criticism, and then criticism itself is necessary for proper education. He defines tradition as a working hypothesis which nature uses to launch people in comparison against all things. So you're always comparing, well, do I know this is? It allows you to assimilate different information or accommodate it depending on how novel the information is. Right? The past can only be proposed to people in the present, in present experience. That corresponds to the needs of their heart. Criticism, it says, is made up of two elements. One is Greek, probalo. It means to place before the eyes in Greek, which is also where we get the root of the word problem. Right? So probalo. And then the second one, what do you do with that once it's before your eyes, is crises, which is sifting through it, which is another Greek word, which is where we get the root of the word criticism. So the idea is that a young person, or any person, is meant to look at an issue, sift through what's in that issue, look for the reasons in it, compare everything they find against the desires of their heart. And the innermost desires of their heart, we would affirm, is what is true, what is good, and what is beautiful. So here's the so what. Our education, our faith, needs to be grounded in something permanent. We can't be teaching relativism and expecting people to respond to the terrible ordeals of today with heroic virtue. We can't be planting sterile hamburgers and expect them to grow up into vibrant plants. We have to give the truth in a way that inspires the mind to look for connection and look for meaning. One of the posters I remember looking at when I was an instructor in the Navy was this outline of a wooden schooner. It's a type of ship that you might see with its sails billowing out on a movie like Pirates of the Caribbean. There's a quote underneath this poster. The quote said, "A ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are made for." Ultimately, I feel like there's an allegorical connection with what it means to be a person. Not always safe, but you're beautiful and purposeful. I encourage you to try out a copy of this book for yourself. I use the Send a Free Sample feature on Amazon. It's pretty effective, and it was inspiring work and helped me remember some important truths on education. I hope you found this useful. Like I said, please come back and like and subscribe if that's available as one of these options.